Our first report is dedicated to the generous delivery of Putin's good old Chechen friend Ramzan Kadyrov. 5 Armoured ZSTS vehicles were on their way from Grozny to Crimea and made it all the way to the Kerch Bridge. However, there was a small misunderstanding among the Chechen soldiers which mistook the bridge for a racetrack. At the end, there was an accident in which several of the vehicles were badly damaged. These were quite new vehicles. Production had started only in March 2022, and they were named in honor of Ahmad Kadyrov, the father of our hero Ramzan. 24 of these supposedly heavily armored troop carriers were built within a very short time and were on their way to Ukraine. Well, if they hadn't been driven to scrap by over-ambitious young racers on the way there. We see heavy damage to both the front and rear of the vehicles. This does not look like strong armor, but rather lightweight construction. The boys were lucky that they didn't push each other off the bridge. Let's take a closer look at the Armoured ZSTS. Apparently, planning began in the spring of 2022, shortly after the beginning of the war in Ukraine. The Chechen security forces needed an armored vehicle that would be cheap and easy to manufacture and could transport personnel and various cargoes. Furthermore, it should be equipped with weapons for self-defense and fire support. The project development took only 25 days. Here we see the Armoured ZSTS after it was in use for a few months. It was damaged and left behind after the Russian withdrawal from Kherson. As usual, everything usable was ripped out. The Russian company Remdiesel began production of the 10-seater armored vehicle in March 2022. It has a 6x6 axle arrangement, which means 6 wheels on 3 axles. It is supposed to operate at temperatures of -50 to +50 degrees Celsius and up to 4,500 meters altitude in the mountains. It can be transported by air and rail. However, the manufacturer's own statement casts doubt on the quality of the vehicle. The main requirement for the vehicle was rapid and mass production so that combat units can obtain the vehicles in the shortest possible time. Now let's look at another vehicle. This is also an armored personnel carrier designed and built in Sweden. This squirky-looking thing is the Bandwagon, lightly armored and buoyant, designed for difficult, marshy, icy, mountainous and absolutely rough terrain. In fact, it is absolutely fascinating and is so compact that it can even be transported by helicopter. The 2 parts of the Bandwagon are connected by hydraulic articulated steering. While normal tracked vehicles can change direction due to different speeds of the 2 chains, steering a Bandwagon takes place by interlocking the front and rear end to each other, similar to a wheel loader. The rear end is therefore not a trailer, but a fixed vehicle component without which the vehicle is not drivable. The drive of the front end also acts on the change of the rear end. The cabins of the BV-206, which are equipped with rollover protection, are made of flame-retardant glass fiber reinforced plastic, which is connected to the chassis frame by 4 rubber cushions. This construction saves considerable weight. In contrast to conventional tracked vehicles, the Bandwagon has rubber endless treadmills reinforced by steel inserts with 128 guide pins, which are guided by a treadmill wheel. This drive design allows a gradability of 45% on solid ground and 13.5% on snow-covered surfaces. The extremely wide treadmills in relation to the width of the vehicle allow rapid progress even in swampy terrain. With its diesel engine, the BV-206 reaches a top speed of approximately 50 km per hour off-road and 4.7 km per hour on the water. There are different variants. The German Bundeswehr uses the BV-206S in the paratroopers, the mountain troops of the army, and in the medical service. The vehicle shown here is the BV-206S, an armored version. The video states that it is either a delivery from the UK or the Netherlands. According to Wikipedia, the Netherlands has retired 74 of these vehicles. Could it be that they are now given a second life in Ukraine? In Sweden alone, more than 4,500 of these vehicles are in use in all troops. but many other European and NATO countries also have versions of this vehicle in their fleet. The second picture shows the further development, the BVS-10, which is slightly larger and also has mine protection. As part of the collaborative all-terrain vehicle initiative, 436 BVS-10 will soon be delivered to Germany, Sweden, and the United Kingdom. Knowing all the details of these two different personnel carriers, which are supposed to serve similar purpose, allows us now to make an educated guess which vehicles will perform better, safer, and more reliable.